Did you ever have, growing up, because I've seen this example a lot for adoptive children. They have very loving parents. They have a good childhood. Everything seems good until they turn like 13, and then the hormones come out, and then they kind of realize, okay, this is not my real family. They love me. They're doing everything they can for, but this is not my biological family. And then they start thinking about, why did my birth parents let me go, or why did they let me get adopted? And sometimes they want to go back. Did you ever have any of that growing up, or was your childhood pretty good with your parents, your adoptive parents?
It was good, but we didn't talk about adoption or race in my household. And so I remember but I thought a lot about my biological mother. And I would have these like crazy fantasies that she would one day find me. And really it was simple. It was as simple for me as she would find me, she'd come see me, see how I was doing, basically drop off some money and leave. I never had that idea of going and running away and living with her. So I thought about my mother, and probably my biggest struggle, like at 13 or 14, was trying to figure out what Black was. And so, yeah, in my head, I joke about this now, but in my head, I would say, I'm the blackest Black man, and I would try to be what I thought Black was. And I remember, and this was back, especially in high school, like in the 80s, we wore the medallions. So we would have these medallions around our necks in the shape of Africa.
Yeah, I remember those.
Pro-Africa. I remember. Yeah. So I would wear that, and my favorite shirt was this black. Yeah. And I had this favorite shirt. It was black, and it had the continent of Africa on it. And then on the back, it said, "It's a Black thing you wouldn't understand." And I would wear that around my white parents' house all the time. And
what does that mean?
Yeah, exactly. And on top of that, that's when gangster rap had just started. And I was in a rap group with about 3 or 4 of my other friends. And we would sit at my dining room table and say these raps back and forth to each other. And they were all anti-establishment, anti-white, and at times just horrible things we were saying. And my mother would be in the kitchen cooking dinner.
Oh, not you, Mom.
Yeah. And so me and my mom had done a panel once. So there's this group that had read the book, and they wanted me and my mom to come and kind of answer questions. So we came. And one of the women in the group and that story's in the book about me being in this rap group. And so one of the women asked my mom, "So what did you think about that, him and his rap group?" And my mom, and again, we never talked about race growing up. And my mom says, like a typical mom, she says, "Well, I wish they would have cleaned up the language a little. But they had every right to be so angry."
Right.
And that blew me away. I was like 40 something when she shared that. And I thought, man, my mom got it a lot more than I thought she did. Like she understood this inequality and understood we had a right to be mad and angry. And really that was just like, that's my fear now for kids today. Was when we grew up in the 80s and 90s, we had people like Public Enemy, all these great poets, quite honestly, but they showed us how constructively we could kind of let all that anger and pain go.
Right.
I don't know what kids have similar to that today, which is kind of, that scares me. I mean, we had great leaders like Chuck D.
Yeah.
Man, all those dudes, KRS-One. And I just thought, so that was great. And so I got so involved in all that music because I thought they were speaking. We all did, because they were speaking about our experiences.